Welcome, everybody. It is 12:02 Central Time. My name is Eric, and I'm here with the Center for Nonviolent Communication. We will be having an international intensive training in nonviolent communication in Wisconsin starting April the 26th. And we're so happy you're here with Dr. Alejandra Betanzo, who is our trainer today in nonviolent communication. Ala and I have been friends for at least, I don't know, a year, maybe two or three. And I'm so excited that she's here. In addition, we have Kathleen McFerrin, who's a trainer on the team, and Tricia Martin and Dr. Michael Christie will also be our supporting trainers on the team. We're going to have, I just remind you, this is being recorded. We're going to be using parts of it on social media. Breakout rooms will not be recorded. Please be conscious of this if you decide to speak in the room or share your voice. Again, breakout rooms will not be recorded. And we appreciate you just being here for your presence. So thank you. Dr. Betanzo, take it away for us.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. And thank you, everyone, for choosing to be here with us today. I'm very excited about this session, which I have called "What Do We Do with Our Pain? Presence and Awareness in Times of Violence." I just put the title in the chat. And I'd like to invite you to notice what happens inside when the world feels unsafe. This is what I'd like us to put our attention on in this session. And we're going to move slowly, and you're always free to participate in the way that feels right for you. So one of the ideas that I'd like to share today is that for me, nonviolence has to do with being able to stay human in times of violence. And what I've been reflecting on lately is that staying human is not really a given, but rather a practice that we can choose to start building with time. And I'd like to acknowledge that this is a time when many of us are living close to pain, rather like even personally or relationally or collectively and collectively. And sometimes when we feel pain, we may jump into like automatic responses that maybe can shut us down or lead us to like become reactive or to harden our hearts. So the practice has to do with being able to remain present with what we're feeling and choosing how we'd like to respond. So before going into the practice that I prepared, I'd like us to have a little bit of like a reflection to start with. And I'd like to invite everyone to respond in the chat. What does staying human mean for you? Especially like in times of violence or the deep tension that many of us may be experiencing. And yeah, you're free to share, like to respond in the chat. Thank you, Jennifer. So connected to my and others' humanity, their feelings, their experiences, their vulnerabilities. Thank you, Jennifer. And Jill says, having an open heart and feeling the feelings, both. Teresa is saying compassion and curiosity. And Anne says, remembering that we are connected, we're all human. Katie shares, remembering that we are more alike than different. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Kathleen. Remembering how interconnected we are to each other and how critical it is to strengthen those connections. Thank you. Diana is sharing, connect to human universal needs. Tija, understanding my feelings and needs and others. Errol is saying, coming back to seeing myself and others through the lens of a growth mindset. Thank you, Errol. And Paul also shares, remembering what's important, relationships, the joy of giving. Beautiful, thank you. Dr. Christie's saying, grounded in dignity. And Rebecca says, I think we're human by definition. It's not an opt-in, opt-out. I think the question would need to be phrased differently for me to connect with it in the way I'm guessing you intend. Thank you, Rebecca, for your honesty. And Hema is saying, being aware of my feelings and needs and also aware of others, holding my autonomy and interdependence in the moment of pain. Yes, I really love to see how each of us has such different experiences in when you listen to this, you're invited to respond to this question. And as I read your words, I notice how, yeah, staying human points to different things for each of us. And at the same time, also there's something that these words have in common. And I'm sensing that a lot of it has to do with what we experience in our own bodies. In a world where we've been trained to disconnect from our body, and also a training to that has led us to dehumanize ourselves and also dehumanize others. And when I say dehumanize, I'm thinking of maybe something to do with seeing each other as more as objects rather than alive beings, right? So before we talk any more about this, I'd like to invite us to this very short practice, and very simple also. And I'd like us to first start with a little grounding. So if it feels supportive for you, you can close your eyes if it feels safe. And if you rather stay with your eyes open, you can find an object where you can rest your gaze. And you can place maybe a hand on your chest or on your belly, if it helps, if it helps you ground. And I'd like us to invite us to take a deep breath, inhaling through our nose and exhaling through your mouth. And you can just notice your breath. And once again, take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And you can notice the weight of your body. You may notice any sensations, any body sensations that might come into your attention. You can notice emotions, or maybe also if you don't notice anything, that's okay. Also, all is welcome. And I invite you to see if there's any tension or even numbness, if you can just let it be there. Might welcome any of these sensations and even embrace them. You can notice how you can stay present to what's alive without judging or trying to fix anything, just really being present. And maybe this may feel like connecting with what being human is for you, the experience of being human. And from this place, I'd like to invite you to bring to mind something in the world um, that has been painful or maybe troubling for you. You can start with something less on the intense side, something more simple, more in your everyday life, or whatever feels right for you in this moment. And before your mind goes into telling the story, or before your mind goes into the story, you can notice or choose to put your attention on what you notice in your body, what's showing up in your body. Might be some type of energy, some temperature, maybe some part of your body that is calling your attention. And I invite you to sense, if you're willing, what might be important or precious that your body is trying to tell you. And you can also ask yourself, what would caring for my humanity look like right now? What would caring for my humanity look like right now? Where do I feel this in my body? Why, what might this pain be caring about? And I'd like to invite you to again take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. And I'd like to invite you into breakout rooms. We're going to share with in triads, groups of 3. It's going to be a short breakout room, 8 minutes total. And I'm going to put the instructions in the chat. I'd like to invite each person to speak for about 2 minutes each. And the other 2 people will just listen. No advice, no fixing, no responding, just listening with presence. And the question that I'd like you to explore is, what did you notice about yourself when you stayed present in your pain? Even just briefly, if you were able to do it. And then you can switch roles, 2 minutes each and 6 minutes total. And also a reminder that if you prefer not to go to breakout rooms, Trisha has shared in the chat that you can put an equal sign in front of your name so that we can assign you to a quiet breakout room. So what did you notice about yourself when you stayed present with your pain, even briefly? And a reminder also that breakout rooms will not be recorded. So if we're ready, Trisha, we can now go to breakouts.
Okay, I have rooms of 3 with a couple just with 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. See you in 8 minutes.
All right.
Yeah. Welcome back. I hope it was enough time to connect a little bit and have the opportunity to share with others what this experience was like for you. And I'd love to welcome maybe a few voices to share like reflections of what the practice was like for you, and not really like the stories, but what it was like, more like the experience of this practice. And if you'd like to share it with the rest of the group, and then we'll start moving to closing. So yeah, anyone who'd like to share?
I was just happy to reconnect with Kathleen. We just hung out for a minute, almost after 10 years or more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hema.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the group, we all felt the intensity as we sat with we had different experiences, but mine and the other people were saying how it seemed to be more and more intense in certain parts of our body. We could feel sensations. And what was interesting for us is we all felt you had a question about like what would help this sensation. And we all felt like connecting and having another person with us is what would help us to go through it.
Thank you. So yeah, really like what these sensations uh, we have in our body, maybe they're wanting to tell us something, right? There's something that is um, alive there, which maybe through nonviolent communication are we can connect to the needs that are below what we feel, right? So I'm hearing, Jill, maybe longings for connection and company, maybe um, something around there. Um, and yeah, thank you for sharing. Anyone else would like to?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that um, about halfway through, I was suddenly in a different group that already had three people. So there were four of us, and I was kind of like, how did I get here?
Oh, oh, I wonder if that was confusing.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was confusing.
Oh, and maybe it didn't allow you to like complete, right? What you were sharing in the other room? Was that it?
Right. Yeah, I didn't get to finish, so it
Oh,
was it was okay. I mean, I'm fine with it. It's just
mm.
it was really weird.
It's like there's a little internet glitch. Um, yeah, it sounds like you're a little disappointed there, Paul.
Yeah. That- But
All
it happens.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Well, while we're waiting for Dr. Betanzo to come back, um, again, thank you all for attending. Um, we just so you know, the format of our call, hopefully, is that Dr. Betanzo is going to be teaching for about 45 minutes. We usually go a little bit longer because everybody wants more time with our trainers. So I'll do a little bit of Q&A or something. We'll finish our exercise. There'll be a little bit of Q&A. And then after that, we'll be just on for logistics questions. We don't, if you have other questions, you can ask us, but um, I'm our primary organizer for now. Tricia, Kathleen, and Michael have all experienced some form of intensive training, and we'll be able to answer a few questions. And we're just waiting for Alejandra right now to come back. So why don't we do this? Why don't we just I'll just give you a couple of pointers. There is I'm gonna, if it's all right, unless anybody has a big objection. Yeah, so she's lost her internet. Is there anyone else would like to report out how that was for them? Verbally, just maybe one or two more people.
I would love to comment on the experience. It
Thank
was
you,
really
Jenna.
interesting to sit with the pain and then realize, like, as I'm sitting with it, the pain just seems to be escalating and escalating and getting stronger and stronger. And then if I had someone there with me, I feel like it would have been contained, but it wasn't. So the pain just continued to deepen and almost become overwhelming in a way. Oh, Eric, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're muted.
So you would have experienced more intensity had there not been another person there. Is that what I heard?
Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like put a lid on it after just a couple of
Uh,
minutes. So as I continue to be present with myself, and if I stayed there, I don't know what would have happened. I'm curious because
mm,
I wonder if I could be an empathetic witness for myself and contain that between me and me, um,
mm.
which I think is partially like emotional maturity. So, but yeah, I really wanted also someone there with me to be present with me in the pain as I was experiencing it. So that,
Well, yeah, having someone there present, maybe to accompany you,
Mhm.
to witness. Yeah. And yeah,
Thank you for listening.
thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
I'd love to respond if that seems okay too. I'm so grateful for what everyone's saying about your experience, and a couple of the themes is that sense of what do we do with our own pain, and it's intense. Like I'm in these times right now, and I'm certainly experiencing so much more anxiety and pain and worry than I have before. And so part of the offering of this practice is not just to build my own capacity to be with my pain and find out when it escalates, like what are some of the practices I can do to help shift it and support it and just be with it and accompany it, but also how critical it is to be in community, like to reach out. And that's so much what this in-person 10-day experience is about is some place where we can go for not just respite to be with each other, but also so that we could be building capacity together. And what does it look like? What do communities that really function look like? What do we do when we get tension, not just within ourselves, but between ourselves? How do we navigate that? And so I'm really appreciating what each of you are bringing in about your own experience, that I feel so deeply connected to this as our collective shared experience on the earth, in terms of there's the both and, right? We have our personal reaction and response and gifts that we bring, as well as how do we receive in community. So Eric, back to you, or should we see if there's anybody else who wants to respond about your experience?
Thank you so much, Kathleen. I would love it if you would continue with the harvest. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathleen, that really sparked in me also something I was experiencing last night in a meditation group that I meet with, and we were talking about our reactions that can come up and how strong they can be. And so what I have found with nonviolent communication is, yes, that shared reality of being in community and really helping us resource ourselves to be able to deal with those reactions, and the tools that we gain to be more resourced.
Thanks, Trisha. And for me, it's like the reactions are really critical. They're telling me there's important life energy. So how can they be my motivating force to really know how I can respond and be in the world in powerful ways? Thank you. Anyone else want to share your experience of this exercise that Ali brought us into before moving, I guess, into questions, probably, huh, Eric? Yeah.
Well, I could share. Um, the pain was getting more and more intense, as was that independent part of me that just get up and do something and move faster and, you know, do instead of, I wanted to escape the pain instead of just recognizing how important it is to not escape, but let my body talk to me, and to reach out more to others and allow myself to be a little more vulnerable.
Thank you, Katie. certainly reminds me of the times when it was like, why would I just go into the feelings if there's no place to land? Like they're so overwhelming. Like it doesn't make sense that I would just go there. So many times in my life, people said, no, just feel all the feelings. It's like, you're crazy, right? You're crazy. If you know what's happening in my body, why would I do that? But finding that there's a place to land, like in the exercises, what's precious to you? Or what are those basic universal human needs that we land on? They're like rocks. They're like our foundation. They're the power, the jet fuel. And so when I can land there and realize, oh yeah, my pain makes sense now. It's because there's something critical, there's something important to me. And I now can use it to navigate the world. Then that's once I realized there's foundation, then it was like, okay, I'll try it, but little bits at a time. I'm going to be at choice. Like Jennifer, I love that you said that. Decided to put a lid on it. Like, yes, stay at choice. But I love that there's a place to land in this work because that's been totally transformative for me. And I see that Ali is back. Yeah, passing it back to you.
This is Murphy's Law, they call it. So I'm sad to have missed like what people shared, and I know that we have limited, like we have only 15 minutes left for the session.
We're going to
So
go for another 30 minutes after this. We have about 37 minutes remaining. So if you'd like to take a little time to complete the exercise, your exercise, you have some time.
oh, thank you.
You know, we can leave maybe 10 minutes at the end for me for Q&A. That would be great.
Great, great, thank you. So yes, since I missed some of the sharings, I don't know if anyone would be willing to share what they've heard so far from the different participations. Like a recap. That's been shared so far. So I remember I was hearing Paul, who was sharing that he was feeling a little bit confused and disoriented for this change in the room. And I remember Jill was sharing also how what she was sensing in her body could allow her to connect to what she was needing. And so Jennifer is sharing in the chat. I talked about the pain getting stronger and wanting someone present with me. Didn't have anyone, so I put a cap on the feelings. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes. So, and I heard Kathleen sharing when I got back that, yeah, sometimes feeling can be overwhelming, right? And so how to do it in a way that that may be still not too much of a stretch for us, right? Maybe start little by little, becoming more and more comfortable with discomfort, right? or being able to stay present with what is alive at the moment. And also remember that yeah, sometimes we numb out for a reason, right? Sometimes it's our own body and our own like life inside us wanting to keep us safe and protecting us. And if sometimes numbing out or even putting that cap on our feelings feels safer, it's fine, right? But part of the practice that nonviolent communication invites us to do is start connecting again to our body, to our feelings, to and more than just our body and our feelings is also like what is this life energy that is present, trying to tell us what it takes us to maybe connect to our what we long for in life, what's so precious for us that we'd like to find ways to be aware and to attend to those needs, right? So I don't know if there's anyone else who'd like to share. I would love to hear another voice if anyone's willing. Anyone who hasn't shared? And maybe meanwhile, sometimes what I've seen in myself is how when I'm experiencing something that is painful or even like feeling unsafe, right? We go into more like of a reactive mode, more into an automatic responses, right? And sometimes that shuts us off from what's alive, or even we go into our minds and we go into the stories that are in our minds that may also disconnect us from life, right? From how life is being presenting itself in our bodies. So connecting to our body and putting attention to what's alive, to what's what matters for us, what's important for us, maybe a way to find some grounding, maybe. And if there's no one else wanting to share around what's coming up for you with these practices, I can see Katie's question. When I allow and lean into my pain, does this make more space for me to experience joy and serenity? And so thank you for your question, Katie. And what I understand these practices is that it's really putting our attention to what we're feeling. It actually helps us regulate. It actually helps us the intensity of the emotion, or the intensity of what's alive, of the feeling starts low, like being more allowing us to be more like grounded, more present, and even having some more spaciousness to be able to choose how we want to respond in the moment. And I brought this quote that I wanted to share, and that speaks to what you're asking, Katie, and I'm going to share it now to see if it makes sense for you. But I was trying to find where I got this quote from, but I'm almost sure that it's Marshall Rosenberg's quote, but I can't tell you where, like what text it comes from. But it says, one of the messages that the best messages that I ever heard from any of my teachers say was from Carl Rogers, the psychologist. And he said, if you're alive, you'll always be a little bit frightened. So if you're really secure and you know what's right for you, you've died and you don't even know it. So it maybe brings us to reflect how sometimes, yeah, being alive doesn't necessarily come with being calm all the time, or finding serenity, all the time. It doesn't mean that either that we don't. It doesn't mean that we agree or forgive or let go of what matters, and it doesn't mean that we stop feeling anger. It doesn't mean that we stop feeling grief or fear. What it means is that we stay connected to what we care about, even when it hurts. It's just acknowledging that this may be good news. It means that we're alive. It means that we're still alive, and those who have who are not who don't have any needs are those who have already left this dimension of of living, right? So, and also it means that we remember that how we respond matters, not only for others, but also for who we become, for who we want to be in this world. And in times of violence, and this is a reflection that has been in my mind lately. In times of violence, staying human, it's not really like heroic. It may look like something quiet, something ordinary. It may look like pausing instead of reacting, listening instead of fixing, choosing to care even when like having a sense of certainty could maybe feel easier, right? So it's developing this capacity to stay with discomfort, to stay with not knowing, to sit with not knowing. And sometimes for me it's part of the practice is being able to stay with the questions, to be able to have a little bit more space inside for choice, for care, and to welcome our imperfections, our messiness, and our being human in the moment, right? And these are lots of words, Katie, but I don't know if any of this resonates with you or brings anything up that you'd like to share. So maybe
Katie, I'm wondering if you were responding and we're on mute.
There we go.
Oh,
Thank you. Well, it does. Yes, what you said is very helpful. One of my favorite quotes, well, a quote I turn to sometimes when things feel uncomfortable is, "It is no sign of wellness to be well adjusted in a profoundly sick society." So
Yeah.
when I am concerned or scared about external things, it's like, well, that's okay because you're not living in a
Mm-hmm.
healthy environment, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that quote. I was also looking at it while preparing this session, and yeah, yeah, it makes so much sense for me also. And just acknowledging how insane sometimes it is to yeah, to the world we're living in, right? So yeah, thank you for bringing yourselves into this moment as you are with what's that feels authentic, and maybe just and I can see there's a question in the chat. Oh, what was the quote again? Would it be possible to put it in the chat, please? Tija is asking, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So Katie,
It's Tita.
would you to repeat the quote that you have memorized and I don't? And it's or maybe you can also write it in the chat. I'm not sure if Katie is frozen. I think she is.
I think she is. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll wait a little bit to see if she comes back.
I think I can look up the quote and get it for you in the chat. But there's one thing that I wanted to say about this upcoming IIT is it's both looking at how do we navigate our own reaction in the midst of a society that's not, our social structures aren't functioning, but it's also how do we move forward to reimagine, to build bridges across the polarization and create social structures that actually do function better for more people more of the time. So it's an exploration into both navigating now, but also really how do we recreate and rebuild a new future? And I'll go look for the quote.
Thank you, Kathleen. Yes, this is the topic or the theme that we chose for this IIT, like how to build these bridges when there's so much separation and polarization, and yeah, one of the ways of starting building these bridges is to become more aware of how we're responding, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, connecting to life inside us, and how this connecting to life inside ourselves can allow us to connect um, to others, humanity, right? Um, and and I love also how NVC is not only which is not like a small part, but it's being able to stay present with what is, and building on these practices that allow us to have more choice as to how we want to respond to in what's happening, how in these different in the midst of what's going on in the world, it sometimes feels as if we can go insane just by hearing the news every day. And as Kathleen is saying, how can we connect to that space, to that creativity, to that we can access when we learn to resource ourselves to find more space inside us to imagine new ways of being with each other, new ways of finding like creative strategies to meet more needs, right? So how can we stay connected to what matters, even if it would be easier, sometimes it feels easier to harden or to turn away, right? So it's also about finding ways to change the systems that we are living in, that that brings hope and more joy into our lives. So I think I would like to close here. And I can see there's some comments in the chat. Oh, you put the quote. It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Yes, thank you. And adding, how can we find ways to heal together, to build systems that help us, that allow for human flourishment, right? And yes, Katie, this is Murphy's Law again, trying to, do what it. So yeah, thank you everyone for being in this session, and for responding to this invitation, and for sharing a little bit of what what's important for you. And I hope this leaves some maybe not answers, but a little bit more space inside, and a space for choice, for care, a space for your own humanity. Thank you. And I'll hand it over to Eric to talk a little bit about this upcoming IIT, where we will be learning together and building community in person in Wisconsin.
Thank you. Thank you, Ale. I really, Kathleen, thanks for stepping in and supporting on this moment. Ale, thanks for being here. I would love for everyone to just unmute for a moment and just make a little bit of noise for Alejandra, for just as a way to thank you. So if you could just unmute and just make a little noise. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. And and you can certainly put in the chat any needs met through Alejandra's practice. Would love to see any needs met. And what I'm going to invite you to do as you're doing that is just any questions you have. So you can unmute and just ask your questions. So I'm going to take all the questions right now and then talk really fast for 10 minutes to answer all your questions. So go ahead and we're going to create a parking lot, put it in the chat, any questions you have, or just unmute right now and say, Eric, I have this question. So I'm happy to hear questions now. So go ahead and unmute or type it in the chat. All these really polite people from the Midwest, I think.
What is the format of the day-to-day structure for the course?
Thank you, Amber. Yeah, I'll take that down. What's the format? Any other questions?
Hey, Eric, I'm wondering if the food there is vegetarian?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks. It's a food vegetarian or vegan. Got it. Thank you, Shine. And Kathleen, thank you, Shine. Kathleen, I'm going to ask you to answer the first question in just a moment. I'm going to just gather for another 30 seconds of questions. Any other questions? Okay, there's no more questions. I'm going to be singing a song at the end, and no one's going to like that. Okay, Kathleen, would you be willing to take this question? What's the format for our day-to-day sessions?
Yeah, I'd love to. One of the most important things to us is to create a container in which the conditions for community can develop and the conditions for learning can happen. And so during the days, we have a structure that we provide it for. There'll be times when the community has a chance to share and have offerings that starting out as early as anybody wants to in the day. It's a beautiful facility. There's water, there's land, there's places to go where people can offer, grounding exercises or practices that they do. Often people offer yoga or meditation or just get together and go for walks at the beginning of the day. And then breakfast. And so that whole morning time is time to care for yourself and be in community with others, cultivate relationships. And then we move into a time when we're gathered together all for community to really ground ourselves in what is the topic of the day, where are we headed, a sense of practice, remembering why we're there, and also an overview of the day. After that grounding time together, and introducing the topic of the day, then you'll have the opportunity to probably have 3 or 4 choices. Trainers will be offering 2-hour sessions, and the 2-hour sessions will be opportunities for you to choose. Oh, I want to look at the topic from this point of view or from that point of view. And then that's a time to really do a deep dive into the topic. That's a time of practice. It's a time of integration. So it's not lecturing, it's hands-on. It's hands-on work to bring it. How does this land in my body and how does it fit in my authentic voice into my life or not? And then that takes us up to lunchtime, which lunchtime is a time both for nourishing our bodies, but also a time for integration. So we have a fairly long, I think, it's an hour and a half at this IIT, hour 45 minutes of a time to eat nourishing meals and to either gather with friends again for a walk, to take your nap, to do your meditation, to process what you've learned. And then we'll have a chance to go into another one of those breakout 2-hour sessions. I hope I'm remembering the right schedule. So Eric, jump in if I've done 16 of these IITs and they're all just a little different. And so that's another time for a deep dive into what is the topic and learning more skills and practices and building more community in that way. There will be integration time, break time between those, and then we go into, I believe, a community gathering next. Again, at the close of the day, what have we harvested? What have we learned? What mornings do we have? What questions do we have? What celebrations do we have? And it's a time for the full community to be together. And then again, dinner. And after dinner, there's an opportunity to be in what we call home groups. It's kind of a landing space in small groups that you'll have an opportunity to just listen to each other. What's your experience been? What's been working for you? What is it that you want to share in your home group? It's a place to really be held in an intimate way. And then in the evening, again, there's an opportunity for sessions for people throughout the community to offer sessions in practices that are relevant and at times. So it's a mixture of some more formal learning sessions and a time to really start harvesting, integrating what have we learned, how do we bring it back to our daily lives. And we'll do that for most of the time, and then the last day we'll have a half a day closing. So I'm curious if that answered your question, Amber, or if there's specific things about the day that you're wondering about. Other than, I gotta say, you're completely at choice, as well as that the participants will have an opportunity to invite trainers or other members of the community to hold spaces that are relevant to them. So it's not a set kind of curriculum that we have. We do have a set curriculum in terms of the principles we're offering, but the format and everything is very much can be co-created. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Kathleen. And just to because I'm a reductionist, I reduce everything to needs. I also reduce everything to bullet points. So we open the day together, and we try to open the day together, and we try to close the day together as a large group, facilitated by our trainers, our core trainers, Kathleen, Alejandra, Stephanie, Jennifer, Tedesse. Hopefully I got everybody in there. So, and then there'll be 2 sessions during the day you get with them, 2 2-hour sessions that you'll get to train, and you'll get to choose in each of those sessions, morning and afternoon, from 3 or 4, maybe even 5 sessions. We can't stop these trainers for training. We try to tell them, hey, you should take a break once in a while, but they're like, oh, but there's all these people here that just want to learn. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be with these people. And then, for some reason, they're tired by Wednesday. Anyway, the point is, they're going to offer these formal sessions, and you'll get to choose. And choice is really important. So you'll have a lot of time. And then part of it is this is truly a co-created experience. Participants can offer things before breakfast, lunch tables, dinner tables, breakfast tables, and then the evening is participant-led. So after dinner, home groups, whatever, you can offer your own sessions. So we expect that candidates might be offering sessions, support trainers might be offering sessions. There might be singing. If I can reveal this confidential link. Shine offered singing a number of times, and that was super fun for people. So if you're lucky, there'll be a Shine there, and he'll sing and play the guitar maybe. So participant-led stuff. We really want you to have this experience of choice and co-creation as part of this thing. So I hope that answers your question in a different way. And I just have to talk sometimes and hear the sound of my voice, apparently. That's it. Any other questions around? Oh, and we try to go from fear of missing out to relief from missing out. So, you're going to have to choose between a number of things. Eventually, we hope that by the end of that, you're like, oh, I'm so excited. I chose this thing because there's so many great things to choose from. Sorry, that was a lot. Okay.
I do feel compelled to offer in that there's so many layers to this question. So it really does bring up so much, but one of the layers of the practice is not set according to the time, but we also bring in systems so that we're actually setting up system, like how do we manage conflict and how do we want to do that? So it's a lab and exploration place. How do we create the conditions? How do we learn how to navigate that? And so learning how do we live in community and getting practice doing that so that in a way that we can take back to our own communities. And so much of this is interwoven, not just in the training sessions, but it's interwoven into the setup.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. And in fact, that's what we're doing now as a team. We're trying to do over the period of the next 3 months what you'll be doing in 9 days. Thank you, Kathleen. And then there's a question about if the food vegetarian. So I'm going to switch now, and then we're going to probably close out. We will close out. Yeah. So the question is the food vegetarian or vegan? So the food will be served buffet style, and there will be the plan is there will be vegan and vegetarian options. So what we find is that the people who come to our activities have a wide variety of needs: gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free. Honestly, like onion-free, garlic-free, those kinds of requirements. And some people don't eat meat, and some people, need meat as part of their diet. So we try to meet as many needs as possible. So there will be a range you can request, and in fact, we'll need to gather information on that. If you go to the helpful details document, which is both in the footer of all the emails you'll see, and I'll be putting in the chat in a moment, there is someone to contact to talk about your specific dietary needs. So if you have some very specific dietary needs, we're really fortunate that this is a hotel-like setting, and they will do what they can to support you in that environment. I want to state and acknowledge there are people who have specific needs around being vegan as a way to be compassionate to other to the other living beings on our planet. And I just want to acknowledge that. And we are doing our best to support all who come to this event. Shine, I'll just give you, 15 to 30 seconds to see how you're doing with that. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. So I'm hearing that there's meat and also vegan options that it will be served.
Yes, you got it, Shine. Yes.
Okay, thanks. And I appreciate your acknowledgement that some people, like myself, choose to eat vegan out of compassion as a way to further embody the NVC consciousness of non-cruelty and non-violence.
Yeah, it's part of your practice for nonviolence. Thank you, Shine.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you. I'm just going to drop in the chat the last links. I would like to thank, Alejandra for leading our event today, and Kathleen for jumping in, and Tricia for helping with tech. And I know Michael had to leave. So thank you all for participating. Your presence is a gift to us. I do want to say that if this is out of your financial range, there is a financial assistance program. Just please make a request. It's so important for us to provide accessibility and inclusion. We will do what we can to find a way to get you there if you make a request through the financial assistance program. I'm going to invite you one last time. Sorry,
Wait.
go ahead.
There was
Jill?
a question about where to fly into, and I also wanted to
Thank you.
I live in Madison, Wisconsin, and I could drive people either from Milwaukee or Madison because getting there may not be easy. So
thank you so much, Jill, for bringing this up. I didn't scroll down, so thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. Number one, thank you for offering to drive people. I personally would recommend that you fly into either Madison or Milwaukee. You can fly into Chicago. It's a 3-hour drive, but Madison or Milwaukee. I'm hoping that there will be people like Jill who will be willing to carpool and do some ride sharing to get people to the center. We will have a contact sheet where you can choose to share your contact information, and you can organize carpool. So thank you, Jill, for reminding me of this. So we're going to try to support a crowdsourcing where you connect to each other to make that happen. And again, we recommend that you do that. There's a question. Yeah, so hopefully that's it. So either Madison or Milwaukee, and I'm personally trying to figure out, I'm flying in from California. I haven't decided where I'm flying into myself. I'm going to have to rent a car because I'll be there longer than all of you, except for those of you who live there. What else?
There's a question related to laundry.
I honestly don't remember at this moment. I'd have to look in the helpful details. Todd Porter, who is not here on the call, helped us put together the helpful details document, and he put some information in there. I don't remember if there's laundry. So if you would do me a favor and check that. Otherwise, Ming Li, I'll try to, if you don't find that in there, Ming Li, then just message me. I'm pretty sure it's in there. I apologize. I'm feeling a little rushed. So that's what's happening right now. So thank you, Joe, for bringing it up. Thank you, Meng Li, for the question. So you're invited if you would like assistance to do that, to file that. It's under the payment. If you want to pay right now, I recommend you do that. Our early bird will end before too long. This is a recorded video, so I don't know when you'll be watching this video. So I will just simply say that we would expect that the early bird will be closing soon, and this is the best time. And if you are a previous participant, you would, or alumni, or you're already a supporting member, you'll also get a discount. So that's the final closing thing. So you can register and pay directly in the link that's there. There's the link to the helpful details as well. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to close this out just because I'm already 5 minutes over. I will invite you to just unmute, make a little noise for Alejandra and Kathleen and Tricia, and I guess me. So thank you all for being here today.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.